No, initially I wasn't really planning on doing a video on this guy, but quite a few people have actually reached out to me about how good he is ever since they saw him on my team, whether it be via Twitter or in the comments or in my DMs actually. Lots of people have been curious about him, and I'm not sure if his price has gone up recently, but either way, I think it's worth making a video at this point. Sharif Abdur-Rahim is easily, well maybe not easily, but in my opinion, the best Ruby power forward in the game that you can have right now, over Tim Duncan too. Yes, I would say over Tim Duncan, especially because I don't know why niggas feel like Patty Mills and Danny Green are worth like 10,000 MT. The Spurs collection is way too much MT. I almost locked it in and then changed my mind last minute because I saw that Sharif at the time, the Grizzlies collection, was barely like 15k. Everybody was going for like 500 to 900 MT, and the only expensive people were like Michael Conley and Marc Gasol, so it was completely worth it to do for me. I don't know what the prices look like right now, but I definitely think that if you're in need of a big man, you should probably go pick him up. The only knock on this card that I would have is that his tendencies are kind of off. He literally doesn't dunk. Like, simply put, Spud Webb probably dunks more than this nigga in game, honestly. Robert Pack, I think, has dunked on him in the historic domination game against the Nuggets, and that made me feel some type of way, but I'm not upset that he cannot dunk because him doing layups only actually gets him more fouls when I go up around the rim, because he has a very high draw foul for a power forward, in my opinion, as of right now. And not only that, but his mid-range form is way too easy. His post-fade form is easy. He actually has the best post-up option on my team. Even though Shaq has the easy drop step and dunk, I will also dump it down to Sharif if I just want to switch it up and do a post-fade instead of just doing something generic. And not just that, but he can hit threes too. When you run 4 out and he's sitting in the corner, oh my god, it's harsh. It is harsh. Whether you're playing Dom or if you're going to use him in Supermax, he is going to get shots off and he is going to knock some down, because especially since the last patch that just came in a couple of days ago, I'm pretty sure they touched shooting and Sharif just hits everybody in general, but Sharif just hits way more shots now. So I think he's just a threat everywhere on the floor. Don't be upset that he cannot dunk, because he's just going to get way more fouls and he finishes with finesse around the rim anyway. I'd rather him try to do that before he tries to dunk and then misses the dunk and does some dumb shit. The only reasons I would even recommend someone to get Tim Duncan over Sharif is if you want a more defensive option, because defensively he's not some kind of stupid liability, but at the same time Tim is just a way better defender. He's going to help and get blocks. Sharif gets some swats every now and again, but it's just off of help. It's not like he's some amazing rim protector. All of his defensive stats are in like the high 70s or maybe the 80s, I'm pretty sure, but as far as offensively, he is probably the best option at the power forward. There is no other way to put it, because unless you want to use somebody small and run small ball and run a small forward at the 4, you're probably going to get out-rebounded that way. Sharif actually has really good rebounding stats, and he is going to be a perfectly good stretch 4 as well as be able to post up and rebound. So he's as all around as I think it will get in the mode right now. It's just up to whether or not you want to lock in that MT for him if his price has gone up. The only thing I would say though, if you're on the fence about it, is here's the logic that I look at it with. If you want the Amethyst Rudy Gay that comes from locking in the historic Grizzlies collection, you may as well get Sharif from No, because you're going to have to get him anyway, so you might as well get him when he's relevant and he's useful. Don't stop looking at the MT price. Get him because you're actually going to need him for the future and because you can actually use him now. So look at it that way, and if you are going to get Rudy, there's no reason you shouldn't just get Sharif from No. Other than that, go ahead and get him and try him out and let me know how you feel about him. I don't know if they'll update his tendencies, but as of right now, I think he's a perfectly good card, and there's not much I would even change about him. I'm glad that they released him early in the year and allowed us to be able to get him early, because now we can actually use him. I wanted to use him last year and use his Ruby card last year, but by then his card was outdated and it was hard to get him and there was no point using him. So I'm glad that they've given us good cards early that we can actually appreciate.